All right, you're going to want to stick around for the comparison today. This is the Mahogany Triple Threat, or the Mahogatois, if you will, where we are comparing 3 mahogany guitars from Taylor, Martin, and Guild. So stick around. Hey, you're watching Alamo Music TV. My name is Chris McKee.
And I'm Cooper Greenberg.
We're here with Alamo Music Center in San Antonio, Texas. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, like our videos. If you'd like to support the channel, visit our spring store link below for our customized swag, and check out our podcast, the Fretboard Confessional, wherever you get your podcasts. So we are doing a comparison between 3 all-mahogany guitars from Martin, Taylor, and Guild, so big 3 manufacturers, but the Guild's kind of a dark horse. Part of this comparison is to take a look at these, which are very evenly priced and evenly spec'd. USA-made Martin D-15M, really who I would say is kind of the heavyweight in this category. It's the perennial winner. It is the world champion as far as affordably priced American-made mahogany acoustic guitars go. And then we've got the contender here, right? It's Little Joe from, Punch Out. It is the Taylor AD27E from their American Dream collection that we've done some comparisons with, like the Martin Mahoganies and the American Dreams, and it's been interesting to say the least. It kind of was not what we were expecting. And then you've got the Guild. Now the Guild that Cooper's grabbing, this is the Guild Westerly Collection D-120. It is all solid wood mahogany, like the Martin that I'm holding, but it is not made in the United States. It is made overseas in China and imported. And as a result, it is only $699 as we make this video right now. So you always check our website. That's why I say that. But it is basically less than half the price of either of these guitars with a similar build. So the idea today is to talk about the specs, and this is kind of a discussion. Both when dealing with guitars and, I don't know, a philosophical approach to things of how money breaks down or value per dollar in the features that you get for an acoustic guitar, right? So why don't you sum up for us what you're getting at that low price for the Guild?
You're getting a really solid guitar in more ways than one.
And when he says really solid, it's really
This is actually very solid. So if you're looking at Guild import collection, everything that starts with a 1, 120s, 140s, 150s, that's going to be all solid wood.
All 120s are mahogany.
All mahogany. So we did that shootout before, the M120, OM120, and the D120. Awesome guitars. It was a nice way of looking at, okay, these are all the same solid woods. How does the body shape affect? So you're getting a made in China, all solid wood guitar with a great gig bag. A little bit more in terms of like visual appointments than the other two, because
you got binding for one.
We have binding over here.
I don't have binding.
So I think that's the thing is with the Martin and the Taylor.
We both have faux tortoise.
We got faux tortoise. It's like they're going for the absolute no frills.
Neither of these have ebony.
Yeah.
Actually, none of these have ebony. The American Dream's eucalyptus.
Yeah.
Rosewood.
Rosewood. I mean, the thing is, this is a perfect guitar for somebody that wants to stay under $1,000 and wants that classic tone of an all mahogany. Got really nice open gear tuners that just look the part, The biggest difference for me, which I know we'll get to more, is the Martin and the Taylor are really, really thin, nice satin finishes. This is a pretty thick gloss polyurethane finish.
Right. But that goes with kind of the idea of an upscale appointment with this guitar. You've got gloss finish, you've got pearloid rosette, you've got nice pearl dots, you've got nice pearl inlay on the headstock. I have a sticker. Well, it's a decal. So, different, but not. So, and I have like no rosette. The rosettes on these 15 Martins is understated would be a word. Almost non-existent would also be a word. Now, I do have what I think are really nice abalone, subtle, slotted diamond inlay on the neck. But, as a Martin goes, this is about as understated as you can possibly get. Again, no binding whatsoever. on the body of the guitar. Now, binding is there both for aesthetics, and some will argue to protect the body of the guitar from damage. If you hit it, then the binding is there to kind of protect the top or the sides from cracking. Now, the Taylor is very similar in that regard. There is no binding.
But there is kind of a little something going on. I mean, first of all, you do have that very thin kind of purfling stripe, which is...
Give the appearance of binding.
And it's, I mean...
And they've chamfered the edges, which is nice, so they've rounded it.
Nice rounding on the edges. And this one seems a little more open pore to me. You know?
Compared to this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a filler in addition to the finish that Martin is using, whereas that is definitely open pore. It's a rougher feel to it. You would think that means that's also a thinner finish and would allow more resonance. This is the only one out of the three we've looked at that has a pickup just for the demo today. We're not demoing the pickup, and this can be purchased without a pickup for less money, bringing it even more in line with the price of the Martin.
Taylor tuners?
Taylor tuners, no open gears over here. Like we said, it's smoked eucalyptus for the fingerboard and the bridge.
Which looks really sharp. I mean,
it does.
Ebony is obviously awesome, but that looks great. It feels
nice figuring,
and, you know.
Feels, it wears. It's been a good material that I've been using.
V-Class.
V-Class bracing. This one comes with the aero case. This one comes with a hard shell case, and the Guild comes with a gig bag. So here's the question for you. From a price standpoint, feature-wise, you might say that you're getting less from an aesthetic standpoint with these American-made guitars for the money. I like that you still get a hard shell case with the D-15M. I hope that stays the way it is for the foreseeable future. I like the aero case on this. Some people are actually calling us preferring an aero case over the hard shell Taylor case.
Yeah, we saw the 814 the other day, and the guy wanted us to keep the case and give him an aero case.
The aero case is a cool case.
Really nice.
So there are definite benefits in addition to these being made in the U.S. that you get out of it, but you don't have the inlay or maybe the appeal. And here's the real question: at less than half the price, can the Guild with similar construction, not the same but similar construction, even play in the same ballpark as these other two guitars? Now, Guild does make a U.S.-made Mahogany guitar that's in this price point, but that's not what the dark horse in this discussion is. It's at $699. Does it hold a candle to these? Is it a value proposition guitar, or should you just look elsewhere if you've got the money to do so? To answer that question, I'm going to demo these guitars, and then on the other side of it, I'll tell you my thoughts. So check it out. Okay, so there you have it. You've had a chance to listen to the demos on these guitars. Now, before I get into my ideas of tone, I am going to point out something. I had a really difficult time playing the Martin D-15M, and it's not because it has a bad setup or anything. It's because the nut is narrower, and I'm just so used to a 1 3/4 inch nut. Now, I have a GS Mini, same narrower nut. A lot of guitars have that, but I find some of the songs that we play on this channel that we do repeatedly so that you can compare across different videos and hear, the timbre of the instruments. I just struggle sometimes. Yeah, landing. It's amazing what a 1/16 of an inch will do, is all I'm gonna say. And when we're done, I was like, I'm pretty sure the D-15M still has the narrower nut, even though most of the standard series has moved on to 1 3/4 inch.
Yeah.
And I looked it up to make sure. I was like, yep, it is. See, Josh, I told you. It's because I had to redo some of those songs a few times. But I love the D-15M. It is the granddaddy Mac Daddy of this kind of segment of affordably priced American-made guitars. You love the D-15M.
I do love the D-15M. I think that it is the Mac Daddy, but it also gets pushed aside because everybody wants the 0015M, and we see those way more often. And then these come in, I'm like, hey, this is got a whole different tone. Just great feeling guitar. Yep. It is, you can feel it in the nut width, but really like the finish. It's a nice satin finish. And I mean, both of these have that tone that you want.
Yes. Yeah, it's a rich, throaty, mid-range, just kind of thick, dark sound. And that's because Mahogany, when used as a top wood, compresses. We've talked about that before. And then on the back and sides, you've got this rich warmth to it. Now, we should say there is a little difference here. This has Sapele back and sides with the Mahogany top. Sapele is often likened to Mahogany, maybe a little bit brighter than Mahogany. Some people say they can't tell the difference. I can. I hear a little bit more treble. Yet, despite that, this V-class round-shoulder dreadnought shape that the Grand Pacific body has, to my ear, is a little darker than the D-15M. And we noticed that when we did a comparison with the AD27 and the 0015M you're talking about, that the Taylor was surprisingly darker.
Yeah. Which
was weird. Because you'd think, well, Martin's darker, throatier, woodier, whatever, adjective you want to use over Taylor. But in this case, there's more like bass richness that comes out of these. And those are brighter. And yet you still have like kind of the full chord. It's just, I don't know. It's weird.
It is weird.
It subverts your expectation when you compare these two guitars.
The AD27 is something that I have recommended to people that are like, I want my guitar to feel and play like a Taylor, but I'm going for this tone that's maybe more likened to Gibson or Martin.
Yeah.
Due in part to the GP, the body shape, obviously with Andy Power's intention of the sound, but it is weird, like putting these up against each other or AD22 against the 0015. A lot of people want the Taylor feel, and they're looking for just a different flavor of tone, and they definitely made the Mahogany stuff a totally different sound.
What's crazy talking about the feel is Taylor's known for like setup out of the box, just fantastic, playability from the factory. Other than the nut width, which is just a personal thing, that setup is so phenomenal. The feel of the neck is so great. That's a well-made guitar. Okay, so you heard it, and am I bearing the lead here? How does the Guild compare to these two guitars? You want to swap it out there?
Yeah, I'm going to swap them. I can't be tied up with all this. I can't be hog-tied over here. You know what I'm saying?
Funny.
I planned that one.
So here's my opinion. How does the Guild D-120 Westerly, built overseas and available for $699 compare to these? It doesn't. Wah. And here, I actually really like this guitar. And like you just said, we've done reviews of these guitars. We've done comparisons with other guitars in the price point, and I really, really like the Guilds. Today, I played the AD27 first, and then I picked up the Guild, and then after that, I played the Martin. And I was just like, it was just not as resonant. It was a lot more string sound versus body sound compared to these. And when I've played this against some other guitars in its price point that are made the same in the past, this one was a lot woodier sounding and resonant, but they don't really compare. And you, I think, know a big reason, or your theory is?
My theory comes a lot from the finish. We mentioned both the Martin and Taylor had really great thin satin finishes. This is a pretty thick poly gloss finish. And I think it contributes a lot to these guitars. The Martin and the Taylor just vibrate so much, and you feel the resonance. You don't feel it as much in this. I feel like besides just the natural compression of the mahogany, you also get a little bit of that brilliance, edged out because of the finish.
Yeah.
But that's my thought.
But it's still a good guitar at $699. And that's the thing that kind of gets you. Like, is it a bad guitar? It's not. It's a really good guitar for the money. You get a great gig bag. It plays well. And on its own, isolated, it sounds good. But when you compare it to something that costs twice as much, you realize why stripping down some things and focusing on the fundamentals of an instrument in order to be able to have it built in the US and sell it at the price that they are, they're just phenomenal instruments. There's no compromises here to the sound and playability to get it at that price point. And at the end of the day, it is a better instrument than this one.
Yeah. Would love to get like a D-20 in or something, the Guild American-made version, because I do think at that point we would see a lot closer of a race.
And that's how it should be.
Yeah.
It really should be that if you pay twice as much, you get twice the guitar, effectively, or so to speak. I mean, I think there's a bit of a diminishing return just as you go up in the price. But there's that point of like entry level here versus top end, kind of stuff where there is a distinct, demarked difference in guitars. And I don't think there's anything to apologize for. I think Guild knows they're selling this as an import for the price they can because of the guitar that it is. And the US version of it is a demonstrably better guitar, closer to these two that we're looking at today.
I will say that for most people that have come in the store asking for an acoustic guitar under $1,000, I have felt very good recommending the Guild stuff to them. I mean, it's ever since we really started seeing more of the 120s, 150s, 140s, even the 200 stuff, with laminate back and sides, I stand behind them wholeheartedly, and like, this is a fantastic guitar for the price. There's a lot of guitars out there that are imports that are all laminate that are more expensive, that I think sound worse. So,
$600 flame maple top, all laminate.
So it's a little bit of a cheap shot because we got like two best in class for all mahogany dreads. But this, while it doesn't compare sound-wise to the Mac Daddies, fantastic guitar.
Yeah, so I think the takeaway here is if you can afford to spend more, you do get more of a guitar, and you should do so. If you cannot, then the guitar that you can afford at that price point is a phenomenal guitar, and know that at some point, if you want to step up, there's definitely better guitars waiting for you. And again, as it should be. So there you go.
Yep.
So what did we learn today? Nothing. No.
Guitars are a good time.
Guitars are fun, and they are priced accordingly, and you get what you pay for. So there's your lesson for today, kids. But do remember this, at the end of the day, the best guitar in the world is the one that you're playing. And I say that all the time because I don't want people getting hung up or thinking you have to wait. Like, start with whatever you've got, as long as it's not like a $60 guitar from Amazon. We did a video on that. You should watch it. But, you want to try to get a good quality guitar, and if you can afford a $200 guitar in a pack, get that and start playing today, and you will get better. And later down the road, you will get a better guitar. That's just how it goes. I went from a $300 Ibanez to I'm not going to say how much, 914C 20 years ago. It was an amazing jump, but I've had that guitar 20 years. And it's, my playing improved on the Ibanez, and my playing improved on the Taylor. So there you go. If you're new to the channel, what should they do?
You got to subscribe, because, how else can you find out what's going on? Turn the notifications on, like the videos, comment below, tell us what you think. Do you think we're liars? That's okay. You know?
Listen, liking is actually really important. Just a PSA. If you already subscribe, by liking the videos, you help other people with similar interests discover the videos. It's kind of how the YouTube algorithm works. So our videos reach more people who are inclined to watch them like you are. And so it's just kind of helping the algorithm understand the brain trust, so to speak.
And in like a broader sense, liking the videos, you know, just emotionally enjoying them, that helps us feel good. We feel affirmed.
Feel your vibe, fam. Thanks so much.
So like the videos.
Like and subscribe and turn on your notifications and keep coming back for more. That's the important part. We'll see you next time.